Shalom, Akyam. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha-Rakah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam for pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. The Spirit has me today in Job in chapter 2, alright, and start at 1. It says, again, there was a day when the sons of Yahweh came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh. Alright, so showing you that Satan serves Yahweh. That's why he's presenting himself, alright? It says, And Yahweh said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And that's because the physical counterpart of Satan, who is a man from the tribe of Edom, right? The Edomites. So he goes up and down in this earth, and he just says, like he said, he walks up and down in it. All right, and what's he doing? He's literally devouring the souls of the 2/3. All right, the 2/3 Israelites, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. All right, so let me get that real quick. How he devours our people. That's all over the Bible, but I'm thinking about chapter 6 in Esdras. And it says, verse 2nd Esdras 6 and 57, And now, O Yahweh, behold, these heathen, which are the other nations, starting out with Edom, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. All right? So, when you read Job 2 and verse 2, verse 2, and it says, And Yahweh said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord, and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. All right, and we got to prove that there's a man, a certain man, which is the Edomite, who is associated, as the beast, as Satan, the serpent, that old serpent, the devil. All right. So we go to Revelation. Let me see, 13. And we'll just start at 17 because this is prophecy right here, dealing with the microchip, which is the mark of the beast, all right? Which is the so-called white man's, it's his attempt to be like God, to be like Yahweh, all right? He wants to mark you, he wants to microchip you, and this way he can keep track of your every move, all right? So let me go to it real quick. At 17, well, we'll start at 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the name of his name. All right, and literally, like I read in Esdras, 2nd chapter, hey, he's devouring you. He's going to use this microchip to devour you, because when you take that mark, that microchip, the mark of the beast, once you take that, you've sealed your fate to be destroyed by a thermonuclear fire if you make it to that day. All right. Otherwise, the Lord's going to judge you some other way for taking that mark. All right. But there's no repentance once you take the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. Verse 17, And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. So first of all, it doesn't say everyone's going to understand this. It doesn't say that everybody is going to know that the microchip is the mark of the beast. It says, no, let him that hath understanding. All right? Showing you that there's certain men that understand this Bible 100%, starting out with our elders of GMS. All right? And the disciples, which are the Akyam. Hey, we're students of discipline right now, and learning and accepting and receiving this truth in its entirety, 100%. Let me see real quick. Let me pull that out real quick. All right, I could have just went with the Spirit. I looked it up, but it was where I thought it was. Romans 11:7. Sometimes you just got to trust the Spirit and just run with it, Romans 11:7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for. So when we go back to Revelation 13 and 17, we just read Israel hath not obtained it. So it was 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. All right, so you see, not all Israel is going to obtain this knowledge and this understanding. All right, you can't accept the fact that the microchip is the mark of the beast. That's why you're going to take the microchip, because you don't believe it is the mark of the beast. And not in the meanwhile, the Lord has set even more stumbling blocks up out of these alphabet camps, IUIC, IOCC, GOCC, whatever it is, whatever it is, that other camps that are teaching that the microchip is not the mark of the beast. You see, because right here it says, what then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. You see? The elect. Like we always tell you, it's all about the elect. We have the understanding. We have the understanding on the microchip. We have the understanding on the mark of the beast. All right? Israel has not obtained it. No. But the election have. The election from who? From Israel. All right? So the elect, we're able to prophesy and teach, and the remnant will hear this word that we teach, hear this doctrine that we're teaching, and they're gonna consider it, man. They're gonna believe our report, you see. But it starts out with the man who has understanding. You can't ask a fucking Christian, a modern Christian, about the mark of the beast. Maybe some of them, those what are they called, the Bible Belt in the southern United States, the South, as they call it, the dirty South. Some of them Bible Belt modern Christians actually do believe and know about the mark of the beast and believe that it's the microchip. All right, but it always starts out having obtained 100% truth with the Hebrew Israelites, and more specifically under the banner of Great Millstone, GMS. All right, so we go back to Job, and we're in chapter 2 and in verse 3 it says, and Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? And there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth Yahweh and escheweth evil. All right, so you see, there are such things as perfect men, because you have a lot of people that tell you, or even if you're teaching this truth, people for some reason they get the impression, I've noticed, that you're saying you're perfect. No, we're not perfect, but we're being made perfect by the truth, by the cleansing of the Holy Spirit, right? By the knowledge of the Scriptures. We're able to cleanse ourselves and make ourselves pure, sanctify ourselves, if you will. You see? So there is such thing as perfect men, one that fears Yahweh, right? The beginning of wisdom is the fear of Yahweh, right? So the men who are in this truth, when we heard this truth and we learned this true doctrine, when we first heard it, hey, it moved us to the point where we were like, oh, I got to know more. you know, because we weren't being taught lies anymore. When we were in our dealing with our false doctrines in the past that were given to us here in our captivity in Babylon, America. You know, we had the zeal, but not according to knowledge, right? But now we have a zeal, which is passion, and it's according to knowledge, all right? Let's get that real quick. Romans 10:2, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge, all right? And that word zeal, it means passion. So yes, Israelites, even the 2/3, they have a passion for Yahweh, but they don't have a passion according to knowledge. They have a passion according to the lies that they've been taught, all right? But the truth, it dwells in them, but it's just polluted, so it can't come out in these 2/3, all right? It's hard for you 2/3, well, I should say pretty much it's impossible for you 2/3 to repent because of verse 2. You have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge, all right? So we'll go back to Job 1 and 4. Salakia. Job 2 and 4. And actually, you know what? Just through the Spirit, I want to look up that word perfect. It says, having all the required or desirable elements, qualities, or characteristics as good as it is possible to be. See? So that's the men of the truth. We're perfect because we're having all the required or desired elements. What are the required and desired elements? It's this service, right? The servitude. Doing the work of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem. So that's what makes us perfect, all right? We have those qualities and characteristics, right? If you go to camp every single weekend, or even more than once a week, and you're doing all the videos that the elders have decreed, then you're being made perfect, man. Is as good as it is possible to be. You see, in this wicked ass world, hey, we always tell you, keep the laws and statutes and commandments as good as possible here in our captivity. So you see, we are perfect because we are doing all the required and desired elements, desirable elements, according to this truth. You see, let's get that verse real quick. Reasonable service. All right, Romans, also in Romans. See, so the Spirit wants me in Romans also today. Romans, what was that? Salakia. Romans 12, and we'll start at 1. Romans 12 and 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. See, so it's a reasonable thing. It's not impossible for us to go out there and do camps. It's not impossible for us to push the word of Yahweh on the World Wide Web. All right, these are all reasonable things, reasonable service. All right. It's not like Yahweh said, hey, I want you to jump to the moon. No. He's given you a reasonable service, according to Paul in Romans chapter 12. All right? And let's keep reading. And be not conformed to this world. See, so you got to leave Babylon, America, man. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. All right? You see how you got to renew your mind in this truth? You see? You before you may have thought that white people are gonna be delivered, white people are gonna be saved, so-called white people, Edomites. But then when you learn the truth, now you have to renew your mind. You have to change that way of thinking because you've learned the truth now. You've read it, you've studied it. You see that these lies that we were taught in the past, they're not. It's just that. It's a lie. So now you renew your mind, and now you're like, okay, I see it. Now that I know who Edom is, now I know who the Edomites are, the masters of iniquity, the masters of deception, the masters of destruction. That all of those titles, it parallels right with the Edomite, the so-called white man. He's all of those things. He's a master of deception, master of destruction. He's a master of wickedness, according to the Bible. All right. Let's keep reading this. That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. See? So that's that perfect will. The will of Yahweh is that he would have men who would have a zeal, which is passion, according to knowledge in the last days. All right? And now that we have the true knowledge, well, guess what? Our passion just sprang right up even more, Our faith, now we have a double portion of faith compared to when we were being taught lies. Yeah, we had faith, we had a zeal, we had a passion, but it wasn't according to knowledge. But now we're being made perfect because now it's according to knowledge. And now we know what we're supposed to do. We know what our reasonable service is, starting out with the examples of our elders. You see, they've shown the example. All right, they've been out on the streets for more than 3 decades. So they have experience, they have knowledge, they have true wisdom, and they have that zeal, and it's according to knowledge. All right, so let's go to, people will get the hint that, oh, this guy thinks he's perfect. This guy thinks he knows everything. Well, guess what? We are made perfect. We're as perfect as possible as it is to be in this wicked-ass society of Esau Edoms, all right? Babylon, America. See? So the next time, somebody wants to tell you that you're perfect, you think you're perfect, well, you don't got to rub it in their face, but you just know in your head, hey, you are perfect. This is the perfect will of Yahweh. All right? And I want to actually go to, let me see, John 15, and let me see, let me just, this is, all right, so here we go, verse John 15 and 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you. This is Yahushai. That ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. See? So Yahweh is the one who chooses you, not the other way around. You don't choose Yahweh like the modern Christians trying to tell you. Say, oh, I chose God, or I chose Jesus. No, he chooses you, all right? Just like it says in verse 16, he ordains you. If his will is for you to be a prophet, to be a man of the Lord, to be perfect, it's through Yahweh. It's not because anything else, all right? So that cuts the term free will, because Yahweh chooses you. Yahweh Shai chose you, It's not you choosing them. So let's go back to Job 2, and where am I at? Verse barely on 3. Pulling out all those precepts just off of that one verse. All right, so let me keep reading in Job 2 and in the middle of 3. It says, one that feareth Yahweh. Now let me start over. Second line. That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth Yahweh and showeth evil, and he still holdeth fast his integrity. Although thou movest me against him, to destroy him without cause, right? So that word integrity, it means that you're going to be doing the same, you're going to be consistent in righteousness even when nobody's around, right? That's integrity, right? You're not just putting on a show because you're around the brothers. No, when you're by yourself, you're alone, and you know you're meditating on these verses. You know you're keeping integrity, man. You're doing what's expected of you even when the boss ain't around. So that's integrity, right? And that's what Job had, integrity. Men of this truth, the remnant, they're going to have integrity, right? Verse 4. And Satan answered Yahweh and said, skin for skin, yeah, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. See, so this was like a personal challenge. Satan, because this is the spiritual Satan. The physical counterpart is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. But this is the whole spirit and wickedness that the white man has. He's basically challenging Yahweh right here. You see, and that's the proudness and the pride of the Edomite. He has his same rebellious adversary spirit as Satan. The spiritual Satan, as opposed to the physical counterpart of Satan, which is the so-called white man. And you know what? I don't even know if I finished reading what I was supposed to read, but it was in Revelation, just to make the point, because I want you viewers to realize that yes, Satan is a man, right? And what man is he? He's the man called Edom in the Bible, which is the so-called white man today. In verse 18, here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. All right, the number of a man is the number of this beast, and he's the one who, that spirit of Satan is in him. That's why all these elites, they go and they do all these demonic rituals, because who are they praising? They're praising the left-hand side, Satan. You see, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Satan is the one that they worship, right? His spirit is in them. You see. So it says right there, for it is the number of a man. All right. The beast is the number of a man. It's in the beast system. All right. So, oops, I'm hitting the wrong button. Let's go back to Job. And we're on verse. But see, he's telling Yahweh that he's going to get Job, that perfect man, to curse him to his face. See, and Job had to go through a bunch of shit, right? He lost his kids, he lost his wealth, he had disease. Hey, in this Jacob's trouble that we're coming into, those things may happen to us, man. That's what we have to consider. The book of Job was written for us so that we could, relate. So we can realize that, hey, this could happen to us, Yahweh could take our children, getting back in the kingdom, but I'm just saying. That's why you want to fear the Lord, man. One reason. Where we at? Verse 6, 2 and 6, and it reads, and Yahweh said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. All right. So just like we're in Satan's hand, because we literally are in under rulership under the so-called white man, the Edomite. So was Job. Job was in Satan's hand. You see, the same way we are. Let me see. What was I had a precept in my mind, and then it went away. Lord willing, it comes back. All right. Verse 7. So went Satan forth from the presence of Yahweh and smote Job with sore boils, and from the sole of his foot unto his crown. See, so he was literally covered in boils, painful boils and sores, all the way from his feet to his head, his crown. Let me go to a precept just to give edification. Deuteronomy 28, which is the curses, and we're going to go to verse 27. And what does it say? The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with an itch whereof thou canst not be healed. See? So this was a curse. And what's the botch of Egypt? That Egypt represents bondage, slavery. Right? And what is spiritual Egypt according to the Bible? Babylon, America. So this is spiritual Egypt, and that's how he's going to smite these 2/3. And then let's jump to 35 real quick. And Yahweh shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs, and with a sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Right? See? You take that fucking vaccine, man, you're liable to have all kinds of fucking boils like Job did on you, man. See? You can't trust you can't trust the Edomite, all right? You can't take his vaccine, man. He's gonna leave you boiled up to die, Job 2 and what am I on? Verse 8. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. So it was just a broken pot. That's what he was using to scratch his boils, man. That's how you people are gonna be taking the vaccine, man. You're gonna break out in some funky rash and shit, and that's just one side effect, I saw some crazy shit. I saw a dude. It was a Jake that took the vaccine. I don't know where it was, but he was one of the guinea pigs, and his side effect, his tongue got all fucking big and shit. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let's see, man takes vaccine and tongue swells up. All right, let's look that up real quick. Okay, see, here we go. Let's get the video through the Spirit. And we're gonna have to watch a quick advertisement.
And this story is something you have to see to believe. A man in Florida was critically ill with COVID-19, but when he regained consciousness, his tongue was so swollen he couldn't close his mouth. Hello, I'm Reka Mudaraj.
And I'm Ron Trevino. As Stephanie Whitfield reports, this is an incredibly rare condition, and the man came to Houston for treatment. A warning, some of the images may be disturbing.
I was told to keep the faith. I kept the faith.
Anthony Jones was hospitalized with COVID-19 in July. A day later, his wife Gail says he was placed on a ventilator.
They was trying to heal his lungs. His lungs was messed up real bad. So they had to turn him on his stomach for 12 hours.
Being in the prone position, lying face down, helped his lungs, but caused extreme swelling in his tongue. Jones lived like this for 3 months.
See, that's his
before
tongue
his
under
mom
that
found
bandage.
a specialist in Houston who knew how to treat the rare condition.
Extremely rare. I think out of the literature search for his situation, I think we found one more case, so 2 out of the whole pandemic.
But Dr. James Melville with UT Health thinks there may be more, since many COVID-19 patients are placed in the prone position now. And if that's true, Jones wants others to know there
COVID
is
treatment,
hope.
which AKA vaccine.
I'm just thankful that I'm able to talk.
Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.
Look at that.
Regardless of wherever they're coming from.
So that's why you can't trust the enemy, man. You can't take that vaccine. You saw dude's tongue swelled up, man. That's just one case, and I know they kept trying to minimize it like it's rare, But that's because nobody's, you know, on the scale of thousands and millions, people haven't taken the vaccine yet. Just wait till they start. Everybody starts taking those vaccines. You're gonna have more cases like that, more freak side effects. You see. Let's go back to the scriptures. This is verse 9. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse Yahweh and die. But so you see his wife being wicked as hell right here, telling him to curse Yahweh, you know, because everything, all of the sores that came on him, he lost his children, he lost his wealth. You know, the only thing he didn't lose was his wife was still there, and just as the elders mentioned, hey, his wife was there because she was part of the affliction. All right? Because Job may have had some peace and quiet, you know, while he's going through all these things, but no, he was going through all these things, and now his wife was, you know, being wicked, you know, and she was nagging him, you know, just telling him, oh, you should just curse Yahweh and die already, you know. But no, let's read what happened. Verse 10, but he said unto her, this is him talking to his wife, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. And the word foolish means unbeliever. So he's like telling her, you sound like you don't even believe in the Yahweh, you know. How many times you tell people in your family that, you know? They be doing stuff, or you teach them a little something, and next time you see them, they're doing exactly what they ain't supposed to be doing according to the laws of Yahweh B'Ashem, Yahweh Shai B'Ashem. You see, they're foolish, meaning a non-believing. They really don't believe at the end of the day. Let me start over. Verse 10, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of Yahweh, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. So you see, he kept his integrity, man. He didn't curse Yahweh just because his wife was telling him to, you know. And he's telling her, hey, don't you get good and evil? And the word evil means bad times. So you're going to have good and bad times. Yahweh brings both, see? Verse 11. Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place, Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite. For they had made an appointment together to come mourn with him and to comfort him. They felt bad, you know. They're like, damn, Job's going through some shit. Let's all go visit him, you know. Job was going through some shit. Let me go to a precept real quick. Then came there unto him all his brethren. So it shows you that those people were Israelites, right? Even though they were called what they say, Temanite, Shuhite, and Naamathite. Okay, let me read it. Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters and all that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord, the Yahweh, had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and everyone an earring of gold. See? They was hooking him up, man. They felt so bad for him losing all his children. They knew he was a wealthy man, and he lost his wealth. And why? It's because the Lord allowed Satan to torment him. You see? So just like the Lord allows the Edomite to torment us, He's allowing the Edomite to make these laws and mandate them, you know. He's putting the spirit of Esau, Edom, the white man, so-called white man, to bring forth these prophecies, you know, meaning put your microchips in you, mark of the beast in you, right? He allowed Job to be fucked with, and he also allows us to be fucked with by this heathen, by the Edomite. All right? Go back to Job 2, and I'm at verse 12. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off, they knew him not. They lifted up their voice and wept, and they rent everyone his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven. All right, so when they do that, when they sprinkle dust upon their heads, it's just a sign of mourning. All right. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. Shit, how do you comfort a man like that, man? How do you comfort? What do you tell a person who just lost all his sons and daughters? He's got boils all over his face. He's losing all his wealth. He basically lost everything, man. Think about that. Would your woman still be around if you lost everything? You know, if you were covered in boils? You know, you take one of these fucking vaccines and you get a fucking, you know, some type of illness or side effect like that dude with the long tongue, and hey, your woman, she might be superficial, man. She ain't gonna be around with you either, you know. You get some crazy side effect like that, you know. But you see, he was so grieved. That's what's gonna happen. But with these 2/3, when they take that vaccine, man, and that microchip is really gonna grieve them. It says they're gonna have gnashing of teeth. You see, but Job kept his integrity. He was an elect, and you see, so you keep reading the story of Job, and he was blessed with more than he had before. But see, it's not going to be a fairy tale ending for you 2/3 who take this microchip, who take this vaccine. You see, who put your trust in the devil, you know, the Edomite, you know. Let me go to a precept real quick. Genesis 50 and 10 reads, "And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan, and there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days." All right. So you remember, so the number 7 it means complete. All right. So everything is done in sevens with the scriptures. You see. Even my name Shabbat, it means 7, you know. So, you know, you just like the word Sabbath, right? It comes from the word meaning 7. On the 7th day is the Sabbath, you know. But the Sabbath always changes according to the moon. So, but it's 7 days. You see, every 7 days there's a Sabbath, right? And let me see. So you know that's just a tradition. They would be mourning. And when you have a really, really great and deep mourning, hey, you know, that would be a law in Israel where we would comfort the person who was mourning for 7 days, you know. So, you know, the reason we do these videos is to warn the remnant, you know, because the 2/3, they're not going to believe us, you know. So the whole warning with this is, hey, man, watch out for this devil's vaccine, man. He's gonna put a vaccine in you that's gonna have some side effects, and you have no idea what type of side effects. But you know, showed you one case on this lesson, you know. The other thing is, you know, the elect, the remnant, we're gonna be protected, all right? Yahweh's gonna put the spirit on you to be able to endure. And you're not going to be destroyed by this vaccine that this Edomite is going to try and put on you. All right, he's going to mandate it very soon with his draconian laws, you know, which that's what they're doing. You know, wearing the mask, the vaccine, being home by 10, you know, telling you how many people you're allowed to be gathered with. Those are all draconian laws. All right. And really what those mean, the word draconian, I've went into it before, it means draconian laws are really severe laws, all right? So they're, let's say you don't wear a mask, pretty soon, you know, they're going to even right now, they can throw you in jail for not having a mask on. And you see, because if they really want to be assholes, these Edomites, these Roman soldiers, modern day Roman soldiers, they could throw your ass in jail, man, because you don't have a mask on, it's happening already. So it's a severe penalty for a minor offense, Back in the times of Draco, which is the draconian laws are named after, which he was an Edomite, but I believe it was 6th century, 7th century, he came up with these laws that were like super, super steep penalties for being, for minor violations. Like you would steal a head of cabbage, or you would steal an apple, and you would get put to death. It was a death sentence, you see? That's what they're doing now, man. You don't have a mask on, they'll throw you in jail for not wearing a mask. You don't have the vaccine, when they mandate that, hey, you're going to get thrown in jail. You're going to get thrown in a FEMA camp. The microchip. You're going to have great penalties, severe draconian style penalties for these minor, in a normal setting, it would be a minor offense. But because we're in the times of the end, you're going to be oppressed to the point where these laws, are going to be having you, eventually some of us will be killed for this truth, and for not taking these microchips. You see? Not just the elect, but, definitely the 2/3 are going to get fucked up in Jacob's trouble. But anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit, but Job was an example for us to keep our integrity, all right? And shows you also that Yahweh allows Satan and Edom to torment us. We're still under the curses, man, until we get to the kingdom, all right? So with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha-Rikah Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. Want to acknowledge all the Akyam pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, all right? Shalom to the elect.